I have to say, every time I come back to a BMW X5, these cars just seem to get better and better. In my opinion, these cars are legendary. They are just so good. It's sometimes hard to put down into words. So let's start with the basics. What we have here is a bit of a BMW masterpiece, really. The wing mirrors on these vehicles are very large. You've got fantastic vision on this. I mean, they really are enormous. The actual mirror itself has got to be the best part of about 9 inches in height. The rear view vision's not that clever. A lot of it's blocked by the 3 headrests, and you're not going to see a lot out the back when you've got people sitting down. But the actual vision all around the vehicle is not bad, but the back quarter lights, I don't even see the point of those, because you're not really going to see anything out of them, especially if somebody's sitting in the back seats. The interior of the car is very stylish, traditional BMW styling. Luckily they don't have the twin peaks on the dashboard, which you get in many BMWs. Instrument cluster here is easy to read, and the information is easy to assimilate. There's no obstruction by the top of the steering wheel. The center console has been laid out in a very, very elementary fashion, so there's no nonsense fussing around. Everything is there, very simple. I mean, look, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 12, 14, 16, 18, you know, less than 20 buttons, everything's there. So, nice and simple. Center console, very easy layout. This gear shift, it's just superb. You really feel like you're in the Starship Enterprise. The general interior of the car is appealing on an aesthetic level, but it also has a sense of durability around it. I kind of almost feel that this could be used for more adventurous driving and usage. It wouldn't matter so much if you jumped in this one day with muddy boots, because it'd be able to be cleaned up. That's the sort of thing you get. It feels sort of splash proof and waterproof in here, more sort of adventurous. Now the steering wheel, it's a lovely steering wheel, big thick steering wheel, nice big size. The driving position is superb. I don't feel like I'm sitting on a bench seat like I probably would with a Land Rover, Range Rover. The cornering on this vehicle is beautiful. It just goes around the corner and it feels like it's squatting. There's no dramatic lean. The seating position grips you like a Recaro seat. There's none of this rolling around like you get with so many big vehicles. This one's stiff and firm. It's like it's got the M-Tech suspension, which I think it has. I think it's got the sport shocks on. You feel like you could chuck this car into corners. It feels like it's designed for enthusiastic driving. I'd be very confident to do an emergency swerve in this vehicle at speed. In a lot of big end vehicles, high top cars, I just wouldn't even consider it. I'm referring to a car like the Mercedes HL or the Range Rovers. You can't chuck those into corners like you can with this vehicle. Now the gear selection on this, it just progresses through the gears effortlessly. It is superb. It's almost so good it's magical. Now this car is very quick. Mark my words, this car goes like stink. Maybe the automatic gearbox, but wouldn't let that bother you. This car shifts. You can go along the motorway on this and blast past a lorry overtaking. Now back to the interior. Personally, I don't like the seats, the leather seats, but that's just a personal opinion. They are well done. It is a luxury vehicle and it feels it when you're in it. But there's something about this car that just, the car talks to you and it says, please, please, please drive me fast. It's one of those BMW rockets. It's got that feeling. It tends to feel hard to drive, hard in the sense that you're feeling every pothole, you're feeling every bump in the road. You do feel connected to the road, and even with the steering, I can't say I'm feeling the tyres, I'm feeling more the power steering. So, but there's none of this woolly, disconnected feel that you get. It's like the Land Rover Discovery. The steering's very vague. This is 0 to 60 in test. Go. So it's a quick car. Now back to the steering. Some vehicles the steering's very vague, but this one it's it's like a jet fighter. It just responds over and over and over. There's no lag at all. You turn, the car turns. Fantastic. This car wants to be driven fast. It wants to be driven enthusiastically. This is a work of art, this car. I think anybody who's a BMW fan will probably agree with me when I say that the BMWs of the 80s, the 90s, they were good looking vehicles. Beautiful cars. You look at the shape of this 635, what a wonderful looking car with the shark nose. Same with the 7 Series. You have the E30s, great looking cars. The E34, fantastic looking vehicle. But now, by the year 2012, BMWs are ugly. The only decent looking BMWs are the 3 Series and the X5 and the X6. The other ones, people just don't want to know them anymore. They just don't have that stunning road presence. This car is one of the exceptions. It is a fantastic drive. It has been fantastically put together. If there's any defects or faults or idiosyncrasies, attributes, traits with this car that are no good, I can't find any. I'm not being biased. This car is near on perfection. And when you want to, it will shift. Anybody thinking about buying one of these, the only advice I'd give to you is stick with the firm suspension. You want the M-Tech suspension, the sports suspension, the firm ride. If you're looking at diesels, make it a 3 litre plus, and if it's going to be a petrol option, 2.5 litre and upwards, preferably 3 litre. The bigger engine you get, the better ride you get. You're going to be pressed to find much wrong with this when you take it for a test drive. I think the only thing that will disappoint you is probably the price tag. But I have to say, if you take one for a test drive, you'll be fighting to stop yourself from buying one. These cars are fantastic. If I had to give it a score out of 10, well, it's going to be somewhere between 9 and 10.